Hello everyone, this is Eva Hallbeck, if you haven't seen me before. Today we are going to do forward bends, learning how to do forward bends. We have blankets, you can have towels, pillows, whatever works, blocks, and a chair, and a sticky mat. We are going to start in Adho Mukha Virasana, into our forward bend. If you have issue with your knees, you bring blanket in between the calf muscle and your thighs, your hamstring. And if that's not enough, you can bring yourself higher up or in a pillow. You're gonna press your buttocks down. Have the hands on the hip and thigh joint. That's where the legs and the trunk meets, hip and thigh joint. And that's where the forward bends start, from hip and thigh joint. So we're gonna find that first. So hands to the hip and thigh joint. Roll the shoulders back and down, lifting your front body up, pressing your buttocks down, and reaching your trunk forward. Then you can bring your arms down to the floor and extending them. Now, if that is not available to you, you will use the chair on top on the sticky mat. But the same way to get into it, you're lifting up, pressing the buttocks down, lifting the sternum up and over. And then you bring the arms onto the chair and forehead down. Okay, you can fold the arms in front of you if you need. If you have the back, you can bring it up as well. See what works for you. Now, but when you are here, you're gonna press your buttocks down to your heels. So keep the weight back on your buttocks. And from there, you lift your belly button up. You lift the sternum up forward towards the chair or towards the floor in front of you if you're laying down. And allow your breath to be normal here, soft breath. So you're keeping your buttocks back, belly in the direction of your spine ever so slightly, and reaching the sternum forward. So we're creating length in your spine. We need length in the spine for the vertebrae, for the tissue to lengthen before we get into our forward bends. Normal breath through the nose. And now we're coming up away from that. Just bring the chair away if you have the chair. Coming to tabletop. And extend your right leg back, tuck the toe under, and just press through the heel just to straighten the legs a little bit. And then switch to the other leg. Good. We're going to get a little bit more movement in your spine, cat and cow. Inhale, you drop your belly down towards the floor, lifting the pubic bone or the sit bones up, buttocks up, and just lifting the gaze ever so slightly up. Finding that back bend. On your exhalation, you draw your belly in and up towards the spine, curving the buttocks underneath you and looking down towards your pubic bones, towards your navel. Again, inhale, drop your belly down, looking slightly up. And just notice how it feels. If you need to move around here a little bit, that's perfectly fine. Just feel how it is. And exhale, draw your belly in and up, relax your head. Inhale, drop your belly, lifting the gaze. Feeling the sternum coming forward towards your chin. And exhale, draw your belly in and up. Push away from the floor with your hands and the shins. Inhale, drop the belly, lifting the gaze. And exhale, draw your belly in and up. And relax your head. Good. Come to neutral. Gonna do circle with the trunk. So first you're gonna bring the belly down, looking forward. Then you're gonna swing your trunk to the right. And then spine up to the ceiling like you did earlier, angry cat. And then spine to the left. And then belly down. Then to the right, ceiling, and left. And continue this circle in your own time. And just breathe normal breath. Allowing the spine to move, your hips and your shoulders. All these body parts are important in anything that we do in our movements. So just be aware of it and see how it feels. And then reverse it, other direction. All right. Sit down on your heels. You can sit down on your blocks. It's just for a moment here. And you reach up and over, just lengthening your arms. Just take a deep inhale. Exhale through the mouth. Just let it go. And reach it down. Roll the shoulders back and down. A few circles of the rolls. Okay. You can still have the blankets in between your knees if you need to. But now we're going to find a little bit more of a stretch to the side of the body. So I'm going to face you so you can see it. So we start with bringing the buttocks down behind you, just like you did in the beginning, Adho Mukha Virasana. If you need to walk your feet further out to the side for the belly to come down, that's perfectly fine. You lift up, lift the sternum up, reach the sternum up and forward, and bring the fingertips onto the floor. You're not leaning down, you're keeping your sternum lifted forward towards me and looking towards me. Now press your buttocks back. Then you're gonna walk your arms further forward and then to the right. But you're not dropping your chin or your head or the sternum. You're still lifting up. And press your right hip back. Okay, finding nice stretch on the right side. Just getting the tissue lubricated, stretching out here a little bit. Okay. Keep the sternum lifted. So your hand might be right here and you're still going to the side. That's perfectly fine. Or if you have more flexibility, then you hold the arms further away from you. Whatever works for you. And just breathe here, breathe. And allow yourself to breathe with an open mouth. It's sometimes really yummy to do that. You can just feel the tissue lubricating itself. All right, so arms forward. Now prepare to the other side. Reaching the chest forward and then walk over to the left. And at the same time, you press your right hip back so it doesn't follow you. All right. And even walking your right arm maybe a little bit further away from you and maybe to the more to the left. And notice your right side trunk there. Okay, let's do this one more time. Lifting your sternum up, walking to the right, pressing your left hip down, back and down. All right, other side. Lift and lengthen to your left. come into halfway downward facing dog. We can just do it together. You take the outer edges of the mat, keep your legs wider than your hips, and legs or knees a little bit further behind your hips. Not quite underneath it, a little bit further behind. So really hold the mat with your hands. You draw your belly in towards your spine, tuck your toes. You lift your knees an inch. Now you're gonna press back. Press with your arms backwards. Keep your knees bent a lot. Press away from the floor. Keep your belly in towards your navel. Keep your knees bent and bring your buttocks back. Bring those sit bones back away from you. Lengthening your side trunk, your front body, and your back body. And then bring it down. And down. So in our forward bend, your whole side of the trunk, your front body, your side body, back body, we need to open that up before we can go into those poses, those asanas, forward bend. And this really helps us to lengthen up, away from the hips. Okay? So we're gonna do this one more time. Grab the outer edges of your mat, knees a little bit behind your hips, legs wider than you would normally do it. It's easier for the hips and the back and the hamstring. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and shift back. Just shift back. You're not gonna slide because you're holding the edges of your mat. Get your buttocks back and draw your belly in. Now you're gonna press just the right heel down to the floor, just the right heel. Press the right heel in the direction of your mat, and then bend it again. Now the left. Press your left heel into the floor. Keep your buttocks back, and then bend your left. Extend your right heel down, and bend. Extend your left heel bend, or into the floor and bend. Now extend your right heel into the floor and right thigh bone. Press the top of the thigh bone back away from you. Keep that leg extended, then add your left leg. Press your left heel into the floor, thigh bones back, buttocks up to the ceiling, belly towards your spine, and relax your head. And then you're gonna walk your feet towards your hands. If you feel really stiff, you can have your blocks underneath you, keep your knees bent. You can either also have the chair in front of you, all right? Now lift the shoulders up towards your hips. So they're not folding towards your ears, they're going in the direction of your hips. Keep the buttocks up to the ceiling. Buttocks flush going down towards the spine, okay? So the tissue of your buttocks is going up and folding over your back. Keep your knees bent for now. Toes are straight forward and feet are wider than your hips. Relax your head. Keep your buttocks to the ceiling in that direction. Now take both hands on your thighs. Literally press the shoulders down towards your hips. So not to the ears, to the hips. Bend your knees a little bit more so the buttocks comes a little bit further closer towards the floor. Now bring the chest forward. Bring the sternum forward in front of you. Don't look down, look forward in front of you and press the shoulders down to the hip. All right. Now you're gonna press up. So now your shoulders or your spine is long. You're gonna press away from the thighs with your hands and come up to standing. Okay? We're gonna use the chair for the next one. And if you are really limber or flexible, you can use the blocks underneath the chair on any other setting that you feel is appropriate, as long as we have all the body part in the most correct position as we can. Your feet are gonna be, you're gonna stand with toes straight forward, hip width apart. If you have issue with your back or your hips, even a little bit wider, okay? So you're gonna face the camera, face me. I'm gonna face here so you can see my side body. My toes are straight forward. My legs are underneath my hips and hands to my hips there. Good. Now, press the feet into the floor, the heels and the balls of the feet, but lift the toes up. Keep the toes lifted off the floor. And notice how that activates the lower legs here and upper legs. And you lift your kneecaps up. So keep the toes lifted as much as you can. If you need to bring them down a certain time, that's fine. But notice the difference of toes down and lifted up. That will help us, okay? Now, your buttocks is gonna go down to the floor, not back, not forward when we're on a standing position. So your buttocks is going down, you're lifting your pubic bones up, lifting up through the navel, sternum, and up to the ceiling. So the front body is really lifted up. Hands to your hips. Actually, no. We're gonna keep it to the hip and thigh joint. Now keep lifting your belly up towards the sternum. Shoulders are down towards your hips. Keep lifting the sternum up and reach the sternum forward in the direction of the end of the chair or the back of the chair. Okay? And you're tilting from the hip and thigh joint. Bring the shoulder blades together. You're tilting from the hip and thigh joint. Buttocks is going back behind you, navel is lifted up. So hand to the chair, or if you keep your spine this long, you can keep the hands down. Okay? Keep your toes lifted. Lift your kneecaps up, and now press your thigh bones back away from you so they don't come here. So we want to press those thigh bones back, opening up the back of your legs. Sit bones are going straight back. Draw your belly in and up, shoulders down towards your hips. Keep your belly lifted. Keep bringing the pubic bones towards your navel. Good. Lift your kneecaps up. So you might even be here. That's perfectly fine. Or even lower. But keep your chest forward, your sternum looking forward. So it's not about going down. It's about length in the spine as long as we can. So draw your belly in and up, reaching your thigh muscles up, lifting your kneecaps up, keeping the toes lifted. Now, we are going to lift your right arm next to the ear in that direction, but keep your sternum lifted and draw your belly in and up. This is quite active, it's quite a lot of effort. And then bring the arm down. Now the left. Draw your belly in and up. Now you really feel how much you need to engage your core here. And lift your kneecaps up. Bring your hands down. Toes soften down to the floor. Hands to the hips. Elbows to the ceiling. Draw your belly in and up. Now with your hands, I would like you to slide your buttocks down towards the heels. There it is. So it's kind of the buttocks is bringing you down. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing and walking into downward facing dog with the chair. So, hands to the hips. Let's keep it here, hip and thigh joint. Lift your front body up, firm your legs, lift your toes up. Reach the sternum forward and over your chair. Over, not towards the chair, over it. There. Bring your hands to the outer edge of your chair and walk your legs backwards. Toes straight forward. So the chair is on a sticky mat, so you won't slide. Press away from the chair. Press your buttocks back away from your hands and draw your belly in and up at the same time. Now press your heels down and thigh bones back. Feeling the length in the back of your legs. So the heels are going down, buttocks is going up, and arms are going away from you. Normal breath. And then walk the feet towards your chair. Hands to the hips, elbows to the ceiling. Reach the sternum forward, buttocks flush comes down towards the heels. And you are up. All right. Next one. Parsvottanasana, which is an extended side trunk. So really lengthen your side trunk, cross your legs, of course. We're going to use the chair. If you're more flexible, you have those things. Yeah, the blocks. Okay, and we will do this together. Toes are straight forward. Feet together. Hands to your hips. Standing tall in Tadasana. Step back with your left leg. Step the leg back. All right. Gotta make sure I'm on my mat. There it is. Now hips are facing the chair. Hips are straight facing the chair. Back foot is slightly turned out. That's perfectly fine. But the back heel needs to be grounded. Back foot needs to be pushed down into that floor. All right. Now, hands to your hips. Buttocks is going down in between your legs and front body is really lifted up. Pubic bones are lifted up. Still hips in the direction of the chair. Press your hands down into the hips so you can lift your torso up. Elbows to the back. Lift your trunk up. Lift your sternum up. Now you're going to bend forward. Keep your right hip back and reach the sternum over the chair, but still pressing your left foot down. Now you can bring your hands either on the back of your chair or the chair itself or even down, but keeping the sternum lifted up. Press your right hip down, press your left foot down, feeling length in your side trunk. Breathe normal breath as much as possible. You're lifting the sternum over your leg, away from you. Sternum away from your hips. Keeping length in your side trunk. We call this Parsvottanasana, which means side stretch, side trunk stretch. And you can feel it, of course, in the back of your legs. To come out of it, bend the front knee, hands to the hips, and then step forward. Good. Oh, my assistant was to come in. My dog Elvis. Come on, baby. You wanna join us? All right. That's my dog Elvis. So, Parsvottanasana to the other side. Feet together. Toes are facing forward. Step back with your right leg. Okay. So the back foot might be a little bit turned out, but the back foot is grounded down. So really press your back foot down. Hips are facing your chair. Now you're gonna press your hips down with your hands. Elvis Min, stay here with me. Come and join us. Lift the sternum up, elbows to the back. Keep pressing your left hip back. Reach the sternum forward, over your chair, over your chair. Sternum is going forward, but draw your belly in and up, and press your left hip back. Good. You can stay here. You can have the hands on the chair here, or further down, but without collapsing in your spine. And this man, come on, baby boy. Normal breath. Keep pressing your back heel down and pressing your left hip down. Good. Keep your belly in towards the navel or in towards the spine. Need to come out of it, just bend your front knee, hands to the hips, and bring your legs together. All right. Good. Now we're gonna twist. We are going to twist on the chair. So sit on the chair on the left side, on the right side of the chair, I'm sorry. Gonna sit on the right side of the chair, feet together, hands to the back end of your chair, shoulders back and down, and exhale, twist. Allow your belly to soften. Normal breath. And exhale, come out of that. Turn around, twist to the other side. Feet together. Hands on the back of the chair, the seat of the chair. And exhale, twist. Breathe through the nose. Maybe exhale with open mouth. If that feels right to you, it's all good. And slowly come up. We're going to do more relaxed forward bend because those were quite intense. We're going to do more relaxed forward bend using a chair and a strap or a tie or whatever you have. So the bend is going to be on the back end of the chair and walking in through the front legs of the chair. Okay? So I will demonstrate that sideways. So the strap is outside the back leg of the chair, and then you thread it in between the front legs of the chair. Good. Your feet are outside the chair, not on the inside, so the legs are wide. You're lifting up and allow yourself to come forward. Hands on the strap and walking the hands towards the back end of the chair legs. If this is too much, you might have another chair in front of you folding forward. So you can have your chair next to something that is higher up and have your arms up there. Or literally walking down the strap towards the back end of the chair. Allowing the spine just to relax, soften. And then slowly come up. Just bring the chair a little bit away from me. We might need it in a little bit. We will need it in a little bit. So, all right, we're going to do first forward bend and then walking directly into downward facing dog. So let's do that together. Feet together, toes straight forward, standing tall. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Now bring the arms out to the side and chest forward. Look forward. Keep the sternum, breastbone forward, 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 forward. And then eventually your back will come down, hands to the floor. You can bend your knees and then walk the feet to downward facing dog. Walk your legs back. And if you need to hold the outer edges of your mat, you do so. Gives us a little bit more traction there to be able to press backwards. Keep your belly lifted up to the spine. Press your heels down, thigh bones down. And maybe now trying to lift the toes off the ground. That gives us a little bit more intense of the back legs. So notice how that is. If it's too much, just bring them down. Bring your knees down to the floor, evenly coming down and coming up. All right. So, for the next one, might need the chair or your blocks. So let's just keep the chair handy and blocks handy in front of you. Your legs are going to be wide. Even sitting on a blanket. I'm going to sit on a blanket today. Okay. Keeping the hips a little bit higher up. Might feel really yummy on your back and your hips. So just be aware and play around with it. All right. Now, legs are wide. Fingertips out to the side and back behind you. Your arms are going to help you here. You're going to lift up. Take the flush away from the sit bones. So you can really feel the sit bones down. Lift up again. Now, toes, knees, thighs facing the ceiling. Facing the ceiling. So you might need to adjust it. Look at the legs and see what's going on. Do they go out to the side? Do they go in? See if you can straight up to the ceiling. Now, press your inner thighs, your inner groin out through the heel. That energy through the inner groin, out through the heel. Okay, keep that lengthened. Inner groin out. Lift up. Now, keep the sit bones down. Keep the belly towards your spine so you're not leaning forward. So buttocks is down. This might be plenty of stretch for you for the inner thighs, and just to keep it here. Perfectly fine. If you're more flexible, you have the blocks, you can bring it forward, but keep rolling the outer thighs back. You can also use the chair, hands to the chair, rolling forward, or even hands on the top of the chair. A lot of options here. Okay? I'm gonna stay right here. Press your buttocks down. Roll the thighs out, like behind you, from inside out. Roll the thighs down behind you. Buttocks back behind you. Lift the pubic bones up towards the navel, navel towards the sternum, and sternum forward. So we are not collapsing. We're lifting up like we've been doing the whole time. Keep rolling the thighs out, buttocks back. Normal breath. It might even feel good to just do a little bit of a dynamic here, but your legs, your hips are active. It's a constant fight. You always want to roll over here, but keep your buttocks back, down, and outer thighs back. Good. And pause. And bring it up. Bring your legs together. And Dandasana staff pose, just to find the symmetry here. Fingertips facing forward. Hands are flat on the floor, or you can use the blocks for your hands. You're pressing your side trunk up, your front body up, back body up. Sit bones are down. Reaching through the inner groin, through the inner heel, away from you. Just finding the symmetry here. Good. Just notice how it feels. Can you press your thigh bones down? Does that hurt? Is that not comfortable? See how it feels. Maybe not comfortable. Maybe you're needing something underneath your knees to get that support, but still pressing the thigh bones down. Just play with it. You might feel one is more flexible than the other. Maybe one is quite long in the back of your legs than the other. It's an interesting observation. Come onto your back. I'm gonna have my blanket for my head. And I'm gonna bring your knees to your chest. I'm just rolling side to side, a little bit of a massage for your back. And from here, we're coming into a twist. Leave your knees where they are. Bring the arms in T position, palm facing up. And on your exhalation, lead your knees in the direction of your right armpit. And right hand on top on your left thigh. And just allow yourself to melt. Relax and soften. And exhalation, take the knees one at a time to your chest. And then lead your knees in the direction of your left armpit, left hand on your right thigh. And soften, just melting. And now notice how this feels. Notice where your emotions are. Notice what you're thinking. And bring your knees to your chest. All right, so we're going to come into Shavasana. Your choice. Either having the legs out, or what I think is really, really comfortable, especially after forward bends, having the legs on top on the chair. So that gives your spine and your legs a little bit of a rest after what we have done so far. But of course, it's completely your choice if you want to have the legs extended or on your chair. Just relax your legs here, let the legs soften wherever they are. Allow the spine to be long, softening your belly. Softening your chest, your shoulders, and your arms. Relax your throat and your jaw, your tongue, and your eyes. Soften your eyelids and your forehead. And just allow yourself just to be. So wherever you are right now, this is just perfect. It's exactly how you're supposed to be, where you're supposed to be. Now you're taking care of yourself by doing a physical practice of yoga. You're moving your body, working with your breath. And hopefully feeling calm afterwards, after all the strenuous things we did. You still feel a certain kind of a pleasure after doing strenuous things. And you're done with it. And it's also important to, and that's a part of our yoga practice, is to be aware of what we eat, what we drink. So we might be healthy with our physical body, but are we healthy with our internal body? How we fuel our body. We all know what is not the best for our internal body, our fuel system. Alcohol, candy, and all that stuff, you know what it is. Maybe we can eliminate some of it to take care of the internal body. So yoga is not just physical practice like we've done today. That's just a little small part of it. It's how we live our life, with what we feed ourselves, what we feed our minds on, how we interact with other people. So just be aware of those parts of the yoga practice as well. My light within respects and honors the light within you. Namaste. And I say toodaloo to all of you. Until next time.